In the magical world of Asterisk, Harry Potter Asterisk, house elves are an enigmatic and often misunderstood species bound by ancient customs and loyalties. While we meet several elves throughout the series, like Winky, who once belonged to the Crouch family, or Dobby, who served the Malfoys, it's the Elves of Hogwarts that raise some particularly intriguing questions. Who exactly owns the house elves of Hogwarts, and what are the rules that govern their existence within the castle walls? When we first learn about the house elves at Hogwarts, it's from nearly headless Nick, who reveals to Hermione that the school is home to more house elves than anywhere else in the United Kingdom. There are more than 100, Nick tells her, and that's the largest number of house elves living in one place in all of Britain. But if Hogwarts houses so many, the question arises, who owns them? The answer is shrouded in mystery and complexity, yet it can be pieced together from various moments in the books. One significant clue comes from Fred and George Weasley. The twins, with their characteristic wit, explain to Harry that house elves are passed down through families, and they mostly live in wealthy, noble households. They further elaborate that house elves often come with family estates, suggesting that an elf is intrinsically tied to the property it serves, almost as an heirloom to be inherited along with the home itself. This notion fits perfectly with the example of Dobby, who was bound to the Malfoy family, and in Asterisk, the Chamber of Secrets Asterisk, he states that he serves the family, and that house elves never get paid. However, Hogwarts isn't a typical family estate. The school changes its headmaster frequently and is not owned by the sitting headmaster. The idea that house elves serve only one family seems at odds with the transient nature of Hogwarts leadership. So, who do these elves actually belong to? This conundrum is hinted at through one of the most compelling moments in Asterisk, the Goblet of Fire Asterisk, when Harry has a conversation with Dobby. The elf, in his usual eager and slightly anxious manner, reveals an important detail. "We are slaves, sir, and we don't have the right to say anything bad about our masters. We guard our masters' secrets, we don't speak ill of them." Here, it becomes clear that house elves are loyal not just to their individual families, but to the specific person who holds authority over them, whoever occupies the position of master. In the case of Hogwarts, this would mean that the elves belong to the headmaster or headmistress of the school. This is supported by the fact that Dobby expresses a great love and loyalty toward Professor Dumbledore, despite his personal desire for freedom. He confides in Harry that Dumbledore, in his kindness, told Dobby he could call him old, silly, foolish old fool, yet Dobby remains fiercely devoted to him. "I love Professor Dumbledore," Dobby insists, "and I proudly keep his secrets." The origin of the Hogwarts house elves' servitude can be traced back over 1,000 years to the founders of the school. As J.K. Rowling explains in one of her interviews, it was Helga Hufflepuff who first brought house elves to Hogwarts. However, the tradition wasn't born out of any sense of liberation or activism. Hufflepuff did what was the most moral thing to do at the time, Rowling notes, which was to provide house elves with good working conditions so they wouldn't be abused. There was no thought of emancipation or payment, only the provision of a decent place to work. This suggests that the house elves of Hogwarts were initially treated with some degree of respect and care, but without the consideration of freedom or independence that would later be advocated by characters like Hermione Granger. In the modern day, however, the situation is more complex. When Hermione attempts to free the Hogwarts elves by leaving clothes for them to wear, believing this to be an act of liberation, the elves strongly resist. In Asterisk, the Goblet of Fire Asterisk, the elves even refuse to clean the Gryffindor Tower when they discover the clothes, despite Hermione's well-meaning intentions. They prefer to remain in their servitude, viewing the gifts of freedom as an insult rather than a liberation. This resistance reflects the deep-rooted loyalty and belief that house elves are bound to serve their masters, regardless of the ethical questions surrounding their treatment. As Hermione later learns, the elves' reluctance to accept freedom is a result of their cultural conditioning, having been born into servitude for centuries. In Asterisk, the Deathly Hallows Asterisk, Creature, the house elf of the Black family, reveals his own version of loyalty, and his eventual bond with Harry Potter serves as a reminder that loyalty, when earned and treated with kindness, can be transformed. Ultimately, the house elves of Hogwarts are not truly owned by any one individual in the traditional sense. They belong to the institution itself, and their loyalty shifts based on the individual in power at any given moment. Yet their ties to the school and its founders remain deep and historical, and their complex relationship with freedom and servitude mirrors the broader themes of power, loyalty, and identity that run throughout the Harry Potter series. The question of ownership, while fascinating, remains as tangled as the elves themselves, revealing that sometimes true ownership is not just about possession, but about respect and recognition.